Hi, David here from the Wallman Guitar Artistry. Welcome to part 4 of our free training here. This week we're talking about developing musical themes and solos that really stand the test of time. Something that the listener can relate to, engage with, and enjoy. And that's what it's about. So if you have not yet watched part 1, 2, and 3, you should. Because if you don't, well, today is not going to make much sense. Make sure you do that, and these lessons come with a backing track and the charts, and you can also access all of the lessons of this training for free in a very simple, visually engaging interface. The link is below. Sign up once and you'll get access to this masterclass and many other videos on the channel with all the backing tracks. You just have to sign up once and you're in. Okay, so yesterday we left off with an illustration with a story of crossing a river. Playing a solo is kind of like crossing a river. You got a starting point, you got the middle where you're swimming, and sometimes you draw on a little bit, and hopefully you get to the end in one piece. Well, in order to get to the end in one piece, there are helpers, stones, stepping blocks. You can go from one stone to the next, and all you need to worry about is swimming from this one stone to the next. And if you can strategically place these stones so that it's easier to just swim with just 2 movements to the next stone, well, that's great. That's what we want. The theme we came up with started with a story, right? And this backing track is really the kind of like the blank canvas on which we're painting our story, or the blank pages on which we're telling the story. We came up with the story. I came up with the story, but you can come up with any story. And the story was about 2 kids going through a forest, and then there was a bunny at some point. That was the lyrical aspect. And then the obvious was just like taking sentences from that story, 2 kids going through the forest, and then we just sang it out. 2 kids going through the forest. Okay, silly, but that worked. Yesterday we learned how to translate that idea on the instrument with the visual aspect, drawing us a visual representation of that theme. Today we're going to expand on that, okay? So we're going to start with one of these stones, one of these musical statements that came from the obvious. And then we're going to learn how to develop that, how to swim across to the next stepping stone. So one thing that is really important in this is to realize that these stepping stones don't need to be all different. It could be the same one. So if the stepping stone is going through the forest, I feel fine. That's one stone. It just came out with that story. So we're gonna da-da-da-da to go through the different elements of the theme, of the formula, the visual aspect, na-da-da-da-da. You got climbing up, da-da-da-da-da, bam-bam-bam. You end where you started. Okay, so it's like a curve. And we're gonna replicate that. Going fine. Okay, that's what we have. That's a stone. So we're just going to place these stones on the backing track. Okay, here's another stone. Same story, right? Going through the forest, I feel fine. And then swim, 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 and here it is. How can it rest? So swimming across is developing. That's the expanding that idea. It's kind of in the realm of call and response. So if I have that, going through the forest, I feel fine. A response to that would be maybe, yes, I do. Okay. Da 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 na 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 na. Yes, I do. Okay. Yes, I do. The response takes elements from my question. Yes, I do. It has to do with that. It's not like going through the forest, I feel fine. And then suddenly you're like, I'm really sleepy right now. Has nothing to do with that. It's in a different range. No, we're staying around here. We're developing. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. Let's try that. Musically only. Okay, I varied that a little bit, but I didn't do a big jump like this, like this. That's a big jump. I still gradually went from one thing to the next. And again, it has to do with the storytelling experience. I said it in the very first video. I said something that is essential. If you don't have kids, it might be a little bit harder, but imagine that you do have kids or that you're telling the story to your nephew or niece or whatever, and he's 4. He doesn't really understand things and he likes to repeat things, likes things slow, and that really helps if you're a parent to go back to that because you're really developing this story. You're extracting all the juice from it, repeating things. 2 kids were in a forest. You're pausing, and then, okay, the information that the kid has is he's visualizing 2 kids in a forest. And he might think, well, what's the forest like? Well, you tell him the forest was dark and scary. Okay, so now he has like 2 pieces there. He's got the piece of the 2 kids walking in a forest. All right. But now the forest is dark and scary. What are the kids doing? You might think that. So you answer that question in the next sentence. They were walking in the forest. Well, you're repeating the same exact idea that you started with, but you're still repeating it and it's still enjoyable. They're walking to the forest because you pause to add suspense and also to think about why are they walking to the forest? I don't know. Because there was a treasure. The treasure. Okay, all of those things can be developed musically. We're going to do that without the backing track. It's a great exercise in development. So we have the opening statement. Okay, you're gathering different things here. You're gathering a tempo, a feel, a key, whether you know the name of it or not. You're gathering all these things. If we translate that to the story, walking in the forest, I feel fine. Yes, I do. Let's talk about the forest. So, walking in the forest was like in that first state. So we're going to take this, walking in the forest, that's where you gathered the information that there is a forest. This musically is an ascending line. You repeated the last 2 notes. We're basically analyzing that musical idea, trying to understand what's going on. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes. You don't need to clone it, but we're just gathering information. So we're going to try to do something similar. So ascending line, that's the visual aspect we talked about yesterday. We're ascending, and then we're stopping a little bit on the top. Walking through the forest. La da 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 na na. Okay, so I'm going to take that because I want to satisfy the listener's urge to understand, to know more about the forest. So I'm going to take a piece of that, maybe in a different, with different notes. Okay, that gives us more information on the forest. That's developing that idea. So musically, there's more info on the forest. Add a little more color. I'm going to go back to the walking. So that area of the fretboard is the walking in the forest. And describing the forest is a little higher. Let's introduce another character, the bunny. So now I have 3 ideas. I have describing the forest, and I have the bunny. let's blend them together. Okay, let's go back to walking. And here's the bunny. Walking again. Walking in the forest again. Call and response. That's the bunny. You describe the forest. Adding more details. Okay, but suddenly something else happened. What was that? Oh, here it is again. Here it is again. So you can really understand the idea. I'm going to tie that to the other idea. The bunny. Okay, so all those things are part of the expandable part of the theme. We're taking simple concepts, simple ideas that are kind of all linked in the lyrical aspect, the story, the obvious that came out, the stepping stones, all those things are part of the process of creating something. Now, this was a very scholar approach, right? A very methodical approach. It helps solidify the musicality that comes out. But when you're playing, you don't have to think through all these different parts. They're kind of part of you. We're just analyzing what is going on in the back. That's really an essential aspect of how I approach writing and session work and all of those things. As a matter of fact, after shooting this video, I have a job to do. I have a session contract work where I was sent a track and I need to lay down a solo. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a story in my mind and I'm going to try to find something that fits that. And your job is to take this backing track and develop that, thinking through the process, L.O.V.E, lyrical, obvious, visual, and expandable. And that's what I have for you today. I truly hope that this is inspiring to you. Remember to grab this track. It is completely free. And if this is your first visit to the channel, don't get scared by my weirdness. Not all lessons are like that. Just browse around. Just keep in mind that nobody in the whole world can play the way you play on the instrument. I truly believe that. There is something unique in all of us. Developing your story is something worth doing because nobody can say it the way you say it. This is your pencil. You're the author. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for watching this. Consider subscribing if you like this video. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a new video just like this one comes out, helping guitar players around the world develop their musical personality. Thanks so much for watching this. The track is available for free below. I'll see you next time.